going on, guys? Lawson Turner back with another episode of the Cover 2 podcast, and we're going over the late night game of Tuesday's two-game slate. Let's get straight into it. The Oklahoma City Thunder defend home court and continue to look not unstoppable, but they look really, really sharp in all phases of the game. They win Game 1 against the Dallas Mavericks, 117-95, and let's dive into the six players I thought played the best game, three on each side. So let's start with the Oklahoma City Thunder and the winning team. SGA, second in MVP voting, kind of did what he's done all year long: scoring machine, get to the free throw line, and orchestrate the offense. 29 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. He was fantastic. He was fantastic from start to finish, especially in the second half. I thought he really helped in the. Now, they didn't win the third quarter by a ridiculous amount of points. They only won the third quarter by one. But the biggest thing to me is that just Shea on the floor, Dallas has turned into a really, really good defensive team. With you have just long wing defenders that can kind of give Shea some kind of issue, or at least in theory. It didn't look like it in game one. He was still getting to a spot. Shea's not a big 3-point shooter, and he really, over the course of the year, he doesn't have to be, because in game one he got to the line 13 times and hit 11 of them. I mean, it doesn't matter if he shoots 2 for 4 from three, which is still pardon me, which is still good for a non 3-point shooter. Now let's move on to who I think could be the key in this series, Chet Holmgren. This kid is just there's not many like him that you don't find these 7-footers who can stretch the floor, who can handle the ball, who can defend the rim, who has really active hands on the defensive end. 19.7 rebounds, only one assist, but 2 steals and 3 blocks, and was showing up and showing out on both ends. He was awesome. This core is going to be ridiculous, and then Jalen Williams, there's two Jalen Williams on this team. One, which is the one I'm talking about, his nickname is J-Dub, is what his teammates call him, and he was, in the fourth quarter, he went on a 10-0 run by himself in 8 minutes. In the 8 minutes that he played in the fourth quarter, he went on a 10-0 run by himself, and that kind of broke the game open. Now, what killed Dallas is the lack of making runs. What have I been mentioning all postseason? When one team makes their run, you need to limit as big as the run's going to be, or you have to go on one on your own. And and the game was close. Like I said, it was tied at the end of the first quarter. And then OKC goes on a 16-5 run from the 8:45 mark to the 4:27 mark in the second quarter. And then at halftime, the Mavs are only down 9. And then the Thunder go on a 19-6 run from the 6:26 mark to the 1:33 mark in the third. And then in the fourth, it's still a nip and tuck game. It's only a 10-point game, which in the NBA that's not a lot, especially when the three ball falls or does not. And it didn't. It didn't for the Mavs. Now the Thunder went on a 17-2 run in the fourth. But the thing to me, Luka played like shit. He just played bad. 19 points, 1 for 8 from 3, and 5 turnovers. It's not going to get it done. That is not going to get it done. And he knows he needs to play better. He's not 100%. That's clear. This is by far the worst playoff game I've seen, Luka play. It was disgusting because pardon me. Yeah. Now, Lou Dort is going to wear Luka down. He was giving Brandon Ingram all he could handle on the defensive end in the first round. And Luka's still going to have the ball in his hand most of the time. So he's still going to get, his volume of shots. and he can still get to a spot because he sneaky fat. He's quick. He's not fast. He's quick. He is stronger than most people would assume. Watching Luka play, he still gets into the paint. Not at he might not be able to get there at will with Lou Dort on him, but the key thing is if you can just get 2 feet in the paint, good things happen. I thought Daniel Gafford played sensational. 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 blocks. And he had a couple pin downs, or he had a couple pins on that are just blocks off the backboard that was crazy. Like I thought he's been one of the key acquisitions when they got him at the trade deadline from Washington. And now let's move on to the third player. Kyrie Irving was good. 20 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block, and shot overall good. 7 for 14's good. 3 for 4 from the three, really good. But it just felt like the others were kind of like, okay, we got past the Clippers. Now we're going up against the 1 seed. And Luka historically hasn't been good in game ones in his playoff career. But the thing is, I think he can pick it back up. And it's only game one. Now game two, excuse me, will be later tonight. It's the late night game, which I'm super excited for because I wonder what adjustments that the Mavs are gonna do. Now with Kyrie, with I was going to say with Kyrie, with Luka having those 5 turnovers, when your team is at a when you're talent deficient as your opponents, I think the Mavs are the lower talented team between these two. I think OKC is from top to bottom. They led the league in 3-point percentage. They were the best 3-point shooting team all year. Like I said, percentage wise, they generate so many good looks for these role players, and they're just making them. They won the 3-point line Tuesday night by 12. They shot 45.7%. Now, it's really, really tough when, like, Dallas had 15 turnovers that led to 22 Oklahoma City points off those turnovers. And OKC, a team they're not big, they're just long. Like, Daniel Gafford can wreak havoc on the offensive glass. And he did. He had almost half his rebounds were offensive rebounds. So if the Mavs can just win the offensive rebound battle and kick out because they have quality shooters. PJ Washington, good shooter. Uh, what's that kid's name? Derrick Jones Jr., good corner shooter and good wing defender. And they're gonna need him to play big when it comes to matching up with Shea or J Dub or other or the if they can get past this round, whoever they play next round, whether it be Denver or Minnesota. They have these athletic wing bodies that they're going to need to play big minutes. Because without Maxi Kleba, even though Maxi Kleba is a good offensive player, and he's not as good of a defensive player, he was still just an extra body that they can, switch with. And they're missing I thought they missed his 3-point shooting last night because they shot 12 of 35. And OKC shot 16 for 35. Like that's an 11.4% difference. And that to me was the biggest thing. It felt like the Mavs role players couldn't hit, and OKC, as it's been all year long, they don't miss open threes. Flatly. Now that's all I have for you guys when it comes to this game. Let me know your guys' thoughts, opinions, concerns, and can Dallas still come back and win this series? Well, that's all I have for you guys for this video. Check us out on Twitter at the Cover 2 Pod 26. The link will also be in the description for the Cover 2 podcast. I'm Lawson Turner, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.